So we just watched Scream 5. Here's our initial thoughts on it, straight out of the cinema. Hello and welcome to When a Podcast Calls on an Earful podcast. This is the horror variety show where today we have just watched Scream 5. I'm going to give you our initial thoughts on it. So,
I feel like it's a lot to process.
It is.
Yeah.
We only came out about 2 hours ago, didn't we? If that.
Less than 2 hours ago. But yeah, it's straight off the bat, I liked it.
Yeah, I loved it. It was
You all
awesome.
agree with that, yeah?
100%, yeah.
Full agreement.
It's hard to sort of explain most of it without bringing any spoilers into it, obviously.
Which is probably why this is going to be short and light.
Yeah. There's bits that you obviously, if you've watched the trailer, you know that there's going to be some reference to the original. Those ties in the film, without giving a spoiler, I enjoyed.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
Yeah.
There's certain bits in it that are placed in there that are really clever and are in there for die-hard fans as well. It's sort of like when we got Halloween 2018 and he was going back and you had all those references to the original in it and everything like that. So it was enjoyable in that way as a horror fan as well.
Yeah, I think it was a nice addition to the pre-existing story that they've had throughout the past 4 films before this. The first one, obviously, without Wes Craven at the helm of it. And I think it holds up. I think they did a really good job with certain aspects, and like you said, certain nods to the previous films.
Yeah.
One of the main things that I've took out of it is that I was really impressed by the actual character development throughout the film. I think it was one of the things that they stayed true to throughout, where Wes was more creating the story and creating that character development throughout most of the films that he did throughout his time. I think that was just a nice tribute to that and staying true to what the Scream franchise was.
Yeah, I think it's definitely got its fan service, which doesn't feel like it's overdoing it just because we're Scream fans. Obviously, it's meta and nodding to what's actually going on. I'd expect that from Scream, but it's not too much either. I'm still processing it. I have some gripes with it personally, which we'll reveal on a future podcast very shortly. But overall, I'm happy and very excited to watch this again.
Absolutely.
So going back to the other Scream video that we did, and I know we're probably going to do it again on the spoiler version.
The Scream franchise you're talking about that we recorded. Or our
the Scream franchise that we recorded that we had out. So if you guys have watched that, you already know mine and Pearson's ratings of the franchise.
Ooh.
What's your rating?
On the Scream franchise, 1 to 4.
Yeah, 1 to 4.
Ooh, okay.
Dropped this on Lunn, guys.
So, top.
Yep.
Scream 1, of course.
Correct.
Number 3, 2, 4.
Exactly the same.
There we go. Yeah. This is a biased review.
So what would you guys rate it then with number 5 in it now?
Oh, this feels too fresh. Right
so
now.
I've already in my head I've processed it.
Wow. Okay. I did see one on Twitter, and I think I'm comparing it to that. I'll let you two go first. We'll start off with you, Lunn.
Okay, so I would put it as second.
Wow. So you're saying
So
OG
1, 5,
this.
3, 2, 4.
Matty?
Mine's 1, 3, 5, 2, 4.
So the one I saw on Twitter is exactly yours, and I think I'm comparing it to that. I think I agree with yours the most, Matty. I do think... Well, maybe I've got to watch it again, Well,
that's it. It's fresh in our minds.
Just come out, and it's sitting with us.
Yeah.
Trying to not give anything away. It's fun, kept you on your toes, gets you thinking like it should in a who's done it. Obviously, we've got characters we recognise and new characters we don't. It didn't feel like it was too much one-sided. Yeah.
And it wasn't dragged out too much either. Sometimes they just drag parts of it out too much, and the story drags and the film drags, and I think everything was pretty much straight to the point as what you'd expect it to be.
Yeah.
Without spoiling anything.
I think, it definitely kept me on my toes in comparison to, because you do that when you watch a trailer, you go, this will happen now, and you start connecting the dots with this. So most of the time I was like, I actually don't know where this is going.
Yeah.
which in this day and age I think is quite impressive.
Yeah, because there's definitely a time I was watching this and I was like, no spoilers, trying to not give anything away, so this is going to be super vague, but I was like, oh, well, if I'm thinking this, I'm clearly wrong. I'll explain that on another podcast, but yeah, I completely agree where it didn't feel like he was leading you down one path purposely to be wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you had to nutshell it in a sentence...
I can't without giving a spoiler.
Oh,
which
really?
is typical, yeah. Yeah.
So, for example, mine would be, off the bat, really enjoyed it, stayed true to the franchise.
I thought you meant about my point.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay, go on.
No,
you nutshell the film.
So, loved it, think it stayed true to the franchise. Definitely had some surprises in it. Yeah.
Matty?
Yeah, I agree. I like the nods in it to the past films. Like Lunn said, the character development in this was a lot better, I'd say, than Scream 4. I'm sorry if you guys love Scream 4. It's not a bad film. It's just my least rated one out of them all. It's still a good film. But yeah, I don't really want to say much else about it, just in case I slip up. So I'd definitely advise to go watch it though.
Yeah, I think I'll definitely be watching this at the cinema within the next couple of days. What about yourselves?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, coming with, yeah.
And also, obviously, without spoiling that, like I went through all the films again, watched them all just in case there's anything in there. You know what I mean? Any tiny little bits in there that I might not have picked up on before. And it doesn't really lead on much, does it? It stands alone as itself, as its own film in a way. Obviously, apart from knowing the characters' pasts and stuff like that, you could probably watch it and enjoy it without knowing what happens in the others.
Yeah, I think you're about right there. I think it brings in a new era of Scream fans.
Yep.
So it does exactly what it was intending to.
Yeah. What we're thinking, is there going to be a new trilogy?
No, I think they leave it there. Although, I mean, maybe we speak about this on the next one.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, there you go. Well, that about does it, I'd say.
Yeah.
As short as this is, and we apologise, we'd go longer. However, we can't without spoiling it. So that episode will be coming a couple of days after you see this one.
But what did you think? Put it in comments. Let us know. If you want to keep posted on our actual spoiler indulgent Scream review, then subscribe to the channel.
Subscribe, get the notification, and you'll find out as soon as that's up, which will be very soon. But yeah, if you like what you hear, make sure to follow us on all streaming platforms, podcasting platforms, all of that. Anyway, go watch Scream 5.
Laters.
Bye.
Bye.
Hello and welcome to When a Podcast Calls on an Earful podcast. Hey, this should fuck up. Welcome to When a Podcast Calls on an Earful podcast. This is you fucking kidding me? I had it. I heard you fart. Right. Dude, it's hot enough in here.
Fucking no.
This is going on the outtake. I'm the great Cornholio. I need TP for my banghole.
We got this. Great ass.
Turn on.
Fuck you! I'm 10 minutes, so you're like...